evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Boys on the Baltic Star. It's snowing outside, or it was. Is it still snowing, Ben? Oh, you went outside. Let me have a look through the window.
Yes, it is. It is literally like falling
Oh,
hamsters.
look at that. There's big white fluffy hamsters falling from the sky here in sunny Kent. And it's Friday night, and the three of us are together for the first time in a few weeks. And that is good because it's time to start the potentially slightly shorter second half of the season 3 of our traveller game, Boys in the Baltic Star. It feels like it's been ages, and it has been a few weeks, and it's a joy to be back with you again, playing our first True Love. And thank you for joining us. If you're on VOD, if you're part of the VOD squad, thank you for joining in and checking out, whether on Twitch or on YouTube. Our YouTube views are going up a little bit, and we appreciate that. I've noticed that recently. The viewing hours are going up, and that is good. That is good. We're pleased about that. If you're live, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're going to run, I don't know, a couple of hours, something like that tonight. We'll see how it goes, I guess. We'll have a break at some point in the middle to go to the loo and then come back and charge our glasses to a fallen comrade. So hang around for that. So stick around 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes, a couple of hours, whatever you feel you're enjoying at the time. If you want to lurk, please feel free to lurk. We love our lurkers. Big up to the lurkers. We're never going to shout you out, call you out, embarrass you, or anything like that. But if you want to chat, please feel free to chat in chat. We interact quite heavily. One of the things we do as a channel that we pride ourselves in is interact far too much with people. Stop midstream to welcome old friends and new.
Often mid-sentence.
Yeah, quite often talk over someone to suddenly say hello. If one of us isn't particularly busy in role playing at that time, normally Ben, when you and I go off on a 40-minute chat about cheesy balls, we're available to chat, and we'll chat along with you. And if you want to chat about the stream, just chat about life, or ignore us altogether, then please do whatever you want. It's a very welcome place, and we want you to be welcome. As Ben has just proven with Team Yana, there's lots of ways you can spend your time points. Time is money in Twitch. And if you click on the Imperial Credits Sun, you'll be able to spend some of your hard-earned time. Have a click through, see what you like the look of. There's some expensive ones. Oh, there's lots tonight. Traveller Night is always the busiest. You can give us a boon, which we always appreciate. Anything pinkish should play music. I think I've fixed that. So there'll be sound involved. So enjoy that. I don't know where I get to the lockers in. Oh, because it's potentially getting dangerous. But have a flick through, see what you like the look of, click on it, name an NPC, probably gets you involved. It's a name that becomes canon. Clonk means that one of us has to hit something or someone. Stefan's Sneaky Masterclass is good. Stefan's back in the game. He has to steal something, or attempt to. He is quite smart though. Otherwise, just have a flick and see what you like the look of. There's one very special thing, which is for 1 credit and 1 credit only. It always will be. It's our drink to that. I can't find it. Is it up?
It is indeed.
There it is. It's appeared. I'll drink to that. If we say something or do something that you just want to raise a glass to, raise a toast to, or get us to drink, then please do. We like to drink, so that's why it's 1 credit. Let's set the bar nice and low. Let's not put anything in the way of the drinking. So get involved in that as much or as little as you want. Let's introduce, and then we'll get started. So my name is Luke. Hello, I'm in the bottom right-hand corner. I'm sat here in my chair, feeling just happy to be amongst friends. And those friends are above me. Before I go to them, I just need to talk about my 2 people that I'm playing as. One is Soraya. There she is. She's on screen. She's a human scout, a jack of all trades, a bit of a pilot, a bit of a mechanic. And that is Cara Alaska, who I also play, who's an artist, a hacker, a carouser, a persuader, a talky kind of character, who's a bit delicate, so we need to look after her. But someone who definitely isn't delicate is the man above me. He is my brother from another mother. He is the housewife's favourite yet again. He's the Floofmaster General. He's the man with the mightiest quiff of the group. He is the magnificent Ewan. Good evening, Ewan. How are you?
Hey, Luke. I'm very good, thanks. I'm very good. I'm excited. It's been a bit of a busy week. I've been spending hours upon hours watching YouTube. mostly Baltic Star stuff.
Getting the hours up. That's what I like.
Yeah, I might explain our numbers. But no, I'm all right. Thanks.
Good, that is good. Did you notice that you might end up as a go-between your wife and our favourite barman, our real life favourite barman?
Yes, yeah, I did see that. Our real life,
Oh,
very much alive favourite barman.
yeah, thank goodness. Ewan and I live very close. All three of us live in the same town. It's an absolute delight, and it brings a lot of pleasure and joy. And we get to meet up, and we really enjoy that an awful lot. And we like to talk about our characters. When we talk about our characters, Ewan, who are the two that you like to talk about the most?
Karu and Sarai.
No, we've done them already.
Oh, sorry. I like to talk about me the most.
Yeah,
Me.
of course you do. Of course.
So I often find myself talking about Stefan Miller, who, according to Luke, is quite smart. He's really not very smart, but he is quite street smart. I think he is our go-to sneaky street smarts person. I also love to talk about Agnar Arnson, who is our floofy Varga, wolf humanoid, ex-military general, who's quite good at a bit of medic and a bit of military tactics, and is kind of the tank, even though he's really old and fragile. And then he's after
strength
43 now.
It's so old. 43. No wonder his strength is so low. What's his strength? 2?
His strength is 3.
Three.
It's a -1 on the modifiers, but his armor is pretty good. He bought his tank status.
That's true. A wealthy tank owner. Yeah. What a guy. What a guy he is. We do love him. And speaking of guys we love, right at the very top of the pyramid,
wealthy tank owners.
Our favourite wealthy tanker, sat in one right now, decorated by Louis Vuitton. He is right at the top of us in many ways. He's the smartest man in any room. He lives his entire life in the Twin Peaks dream sequence, and he's carried around, as he is right now, in a sedan chair, curtained off from the world by 4 heavily oiled topless. This is very cruel to them in the middle of winter. He must have nipples like bullets. Male models. Good evening, Ben. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Very well indeed. Yes, I'm always delighted by the introduction. It's never remotely weird. So thank you for that. And yes, I'm doing okay. Thank you. Very much looking forward to the new chapter.
It's exciting. There's freshness. Look, I've rewritten out Cara and Sarai's sheets. It's very nice. They were getting incredibly tatty. Ewan and I were just chatting about how exciting it all is. And,
I've got a fresh piece of notepaper, which
that'll keep us going for the next 3
not
years.
Wow, look at the size of that. That's going to be worth
I know.
400 episodes.
Never going to feel that.
Yes, my poor note taking.
Although you are the one that actually knows the name of the ship that we're going to. That's one of the 3 notes you've taken, I think.
Yeah. When they come up.
They're singers when they're there, yes. Because if Ewan's written something down, it must be really important.
Yeah, exactly. But I'll tell you what is important right now. It's been so long since we played, Ben. I think we'd all really like a bit of a refresher on where we are and what we've been up to.
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously we have just done a couple of proper refreshes and catch-ups with the crew. So if someone needs a little bit more detail, a little bit more mise-en-scène, then that's the way to go. The last sort of two sort of intermediate episodes. But here we go. So our crew sets off aboard the Baltic Star from the lovely ocean world of Geeka. They leave behind a victory in an ocean race, a slightly defeated foe, and a lasting impression. They will be aiming for Brightsea, where they will get detailed instructions for the first leg of their journey, pathfinding for the Deep Night Revelation. Now, Brightsea is a fair distance away, and they still have a hold full of fish, so there's that. And that's where we resume the story. Because it's up to you guys. What course are you setting?
Oh, Agnar, you're a weathered old soul. let me pull up this map. Maybe you can read it better than me.
I'm sorry. Who are you? Are you Carlos or I?
I'm
In character.
I'm Carver. I'm Carver right now. I'm all of them. I'm all the characters.
Thanks, Carl.
Everyone thinks you're a weathered old soul.
I'm still a little bit hazy after last night drinking with Cagsy.
Oh, good old Cagsy. Has he got up yet?
I haven't seen him.
Cags is awake, believe it or not. Yes,
Oh,
and looks like the alcohol just washes off him.
look, Agno, you're losing your zing. Look at Cagsy, fresh as a daisy.
That's what happens when you hit 43. You just can't take it anymore.
43 is so old. It's so much older than 42.
I know.
I don't know what happens. I've heard it's going to be your 44th birthday within 2 weeks, just to make sure you stay ahead of someone.
For anyone watching, that's 2 weeks game time, which is probably about a year's worth of actual play. As you can tell by the pace we started at. What was your question?
You're a salty sea dog, a salty sea wolf. Here we are in Geeka, down by. I've just pulled up. Get down there.
I can see.
Get that cat down. It's in the way.
Caboodle is never in the way, merely helping.
Well, Caboodle's pointing out where we are. Well done, Caboodle. So there we are at Geeka. I believe we can go like 3 at best. But I need to get rid of some fish, because if I can get rid of some fish, we can pump up the tanks double size, and we can almost make a double jump without refueling. So I don't know. We got any friends locally? What are you thinking?
Any friends who might be in for a bit of fish?
A bit of fish, a bit short on food, maybe where food isn't grown or lives in large pools of fresh or salty water.
Oh, I see. So not like a big ocean world that's
maybe
got a mass of fish on it, like that place that we went to. What's it called?
Oh yeah, Brightsea, Geeka, yeah. Geeka. I'm so confused. Maybe I'm thinking more of a planet, a world that is maybe dusty. Maybe it doesn't have oxygen. That people have to live inside ships, and might not have seen fresh food or frozen fish in many a year.
You're leading me down the path, aren't you? We all know it's happening. And then normally I'm really up for it, and he looks over at Cags. It was despite all the evidence to the contrary, it was a really heavy night. Are you saying that we should go to Ossin?
Yeah, it'd be nice to see what's happened to Ossin since you assassinated someone, a high-ranking official, the boss of the planet.
And you say I.
There's no I in team, so it was just you.
Well, I suppose technically you're correct. But it certainly was a team effort, I feel.
We did well, didn't we? I was proud of us on Ossin, overthrowing that jerk, bringing in power to the people with a puppet under, sort of hanging over above him, like a true revolutionary country.
Yes, a military governor.
Yeah. Perfect.
And we also managed to get the person they tried to blame it on, their patsy. We managed to get them out.
Oh, we did.
Pretty much scot-free.
I think we did really well on that. We made some friends. We met Johnny there. And what I was thinking of, what might be good is, if you remember, old Stanley Strife, our mate at the Riftsman's Guild, did say that we've got a warehouse there. We can dump stuff. We can sell fish into that. We can have that going. We've got perfect storage. We can fuel for free, he said, as well.
Wait, you want to sell fish into our own warehouse?
Well,
is this a tax? Is this a tax thing?
It's a tax.
Because that's okay with me.
Follow the money, they say. I think we could sell them into there, but say we've got a storage place ready for them. Give them the old key code. We could cut a spare key.
Okay,
And,
yeah, I get you. I see what you mean.
I think we've got to go there, and then refuel Ossin, and then we can look at where we jump from there. It's in the right
Well,
direction, right? See,
even if we don't sell them straight away, we can store them there, right? And then if you manage to set up a sale remotely whilst we're off gallivanting across the stars, then we can just give the person the code and change it when they're done.
You speak so
As long
romantically.
as there's nothing else in there, right?
Um,
It's all the fish.
yeah, there's
That
also
brings it out of me.
there's also the big zinger, of course. There is the 5 kilograms of Stanic HP DM, the most valuable thing we have on the entire ship.
I can't imagine that would be pretty hard. That feels like it. Like Ossin is the place to get rid of that as well, to be honest.
But I think they mainly mine that kind of stuff to sell on. That might be slightly harder.
Yeah,
We'll
maybe
see.
not then.
Well, I'll ask around when we get there. So I've got something to do. I don't know if the rest of you, I don't want to bore you while I'm trying to get a deal or something. I hope you guys have got fun things you can do down on Ossin.
Oh, we can get some. It's been a while since we're all together as a crew. Maybe we'll get a little team building in, get some brunch somewhere,
Oh, lovely.
taking the sights, deep breath of fresh oxygen.
Lovely, yeah. It's got a certain taste to it, that oxygen. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Recycled, I think.
What it is going to taste, by the time we've left, what it will smell of is fish. Yeah, lots of fish.
You'll be able to smell fish everywhere in the habitable zones.
I'm glad we're leaving.
Yeah, let's keep it nice and short and sweet, and get out.
That's a good plan. A very good plan.
Nice. Should we go tell the pilot? She can go and start the jump process, I guess.
Yeah. Well, whilst we're en route, I just need to pick your brains about something. It's not urgent, just at some point.
Sure. My plan is to go to bed for the next 4 days, do a little bit of research, study a bit, and at some point, we can have a little chat. 100%. Always a pleasure, mate.
Thanks.
Always a pleasure. Yeah. Lovely. Kat, can you set in a course for Ossin? Lovely place. You'll love it. Beautiful.
Yeah, I've heard of Ossin. Ossin, you say? Lovely.
Yeah. You'll like
It'll
it.
be great.
It's where we met Johnny. You like Johnny, don't you?
Yeah. Didn't they just have the governor assassinated?
Did they? That's news to me.
It was all over the news on Geeker. Maybe you weren't around by then. But yeah.
Yeah, we might have been somewhere else.
Yeah.
Different part of Ossin.
It's just, when they go around assassinating heads of state, you kind of worry a bit.
Yeah, I think you don't need to be worried about that. Although having said that,
the good news.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on. No, go on. You're in the middle.
I was going to say, if we go to Ossin in a week's time, if we get there in a week's time, the chance of an assassination might go up slightly. But don't worry about it.
I was going to say the good news is that none of us are heads of state. So
no, that is true. Although you do lord it over us a bit sometimes, Agnar, like you think you are. Maybe you should watch your back a little bit.
Maybe that's good news for you if we're going to Ossin.
Yeah, I get to get a bit revolutionary.
Take one for the team.
About time for a fresh leader. I don't want to ask Stefan and Sarai to take on the charge again. They got a bit too many meetings.
That felt like a coup. I'm going to be honest. One of those. They certainly have big plans for their leadership. I think
we need to keep an eye on them. Keep them down a little bit. Keep them busy. Don't give them time. Yeah,
that's a good plan.
Keep them fed. Keep them busy. Enough time. Yeah, good stuff.
Let them eat cake.
Exactly. Anyway, come on. Let's get flying. Let's get Kagsy back to the bar. Hair of the Varga, so to speak.
Okay. And Kat will set course for Ossin and make a jump. Okay. Okay, there is no misjump. So you guys have a week to improve your skills.
So sweet. For those watching in stream, every time you jump and you spend a week doing something, you get to add a little mark to a skill. And this is something before we started streaming it, we did a load in very quick succession. But since then,
Yep.
Ben has found nefarious ways to ensure that in 2.5 years, we have not had a single jump to skill up in.
So we're overdue.
Very exciting. In fact, Soraya finally completes her mechanic skill after longer than it would take to get a degree in it. So that's,
Yeah.
so that's good.
It's realistic.
Yeah, it's
Realistic.
realistic.
Yes. Yes, well, you know, it was the buckyball liner that did it, of course. It's trips out and back that had no training time.
Which were really fun trips, to be fair.
Very good,
Thoroughly
very good
enjoyable.
100%.
Worth it, I'd say.
Nice.
Okay. So has anybody... So Soraya's actually increased a skill. She's finished a module.
Yep, mechanic 1 she's got.
Excellent. And what's everyone else doing? What are they in progress on?
Kara's got her 3rd week in deception. She's got 1 more to take that up to 1.
Okay.
Agnar has just completed 1 out of 4 for persuade. And Stefan has just completed 2 out of 4 for deception.
Fantastic. Okay. All right. The ship travels through this weird hole in space in its own little private universe, a bubble of space-time filled with boiling hydrogen fuel residue. These things are stable for a long period of time, a week at least. Some experimentally have gone longer than that, but eventually they do collapse. And when they collapse, the ship pops out into the orbit of the planet Ossin. So, Ossin, because we haven't actually arrived at Ossin since we started streaming. Though because you were already on Ossin. So Ossin is a small vacuum world, appearing very grey and rocky in character. The main industry is shipbreaking. The work is undertaken in orbit at a station called Daedalus. And on arrival, Daedalus is not visible, being completely surrounded by remnants of broken ships that are being processed. The effect is to make it look as if Ossin has a ring system around it. And from a distance, that's what it looks like, glittering in the sunlight. But as you get in closer, you can see the broken bits of twisted starship that actually form the rings. And they are much as you left them, in fact, with invisible to you from this distance, but you fully know, hundreds of thousands of workers working all the way around the ring system, taking components of the ships along to be melted down, broken up, torn apart, and recycled. There are also a few ships in orbit, mostly haulers of recycled metals and ores coming to collect them. Some are Navy transport vessels and things of that nature coming to drop off old pieces of ship parts into the orbital run. And a ship you recognize, the Italia, is in orbit around Ossin.
I was going to ask.
Navy Mum.
Speaking of long... No, that's wrong. Ignore me. Sorry, go on. I was going to go somewhere, but I decided not to.
Oh.
It's been a long week. We'll talk about it later, Carl.
Yeah, I don't know. We talking about it later. You never caught up with me last week about that thing you wanted to check with me about. It's like it felt like you were avoiding me last week. In fact, did it just skip your mind?
No. Honestly, look, I was just I was reading a little bit. I was practicing some new stuff. I've been trying to work on. Now, listen, it won't take long. I've got a really you can't tell anyone else about this, okay? But I've got an idea. I've been thinking about our trip to the what's that ship called? I can never remember the name, but I know you always can. So
Which one? The
the
one we're
one that we're
going.
gonna go find.
Oh, the Kelleran, I believe. A wise man told me
the
the Kelleran. Yeah, the Kelleran.
The Kelleran, yeah. Our trip to go and discover the long lost Kelleran, the ghost. Is it a ghost ship? Is it a long lost ship?
I think so.
It's
Yeah,
it's
the
a
strangeness.
mystery, isn't it?
Yeah,
Within an I can't speak.
it's
An enigma.
excitement. I know. Yeah, yeah.
I was thinking this is the perfect storyline for a Wagner opera. Now I'm not the artistic type, and I know it's not your preferred medium.
Oh,
But
God,
I
you
was
got that
wondering
right.
if you could help me musically, like if we could work on something.
I don't think anyone can help you musically. This is like the seventh Wagner opera It's like the seventh Wagner opera you've suggested to me.
No, but
Let
me give
you
you the
wanted a
elevator
4-hour
pitch.
epic on roasted meats in Earth Park. That evening was depressing as you were trying to write lyrics for that. This had better be better.
Let me give you the elevator pitch. Right, a ragtag group of misfits,
right,
pursued aggressively across the galaxy by a cult, who are in search of this long lost, long forgotten ghost ship, the Kelleran.
Oh, okay.
And the rest, I mean, we'll see what happens when we get there. But I'm kind of hoping for a bit more inspiration from real life. Also, I figured out it could be like a trilogy, right? So you've got the Kelleran, the exploration into uncharted space afterwards, and then the classic Odyssey of a journey home once we've reached the end of our mission and we're trying to get back.
Is this? Are you going to tell this in traditional?
I'm so excited.
Are you going to tell this in traditional Varga way as the with the shaved chest?
Why do you always mock my culture? It just feels rude sometimes. But yes, I am.
Good. I should hope so too. And the little jaunty hat of the storyteller. But then I'm warming to it.
I might need you to listen to a lot more Wagner opera just to get that, that feeling. I can do the language, that's not a problem, and I can put the story down. I just feel as though I need some. I can't play an instrument. I know you prefer to do the visual arts, but
well, I can
you
play.
are well trained in what's that instrument?
I don't know. I could pick up one of your mighty Varga instruments. Very similar to a kazoo, I believe. A mighty instrument, very good for operas.
I'm not familiar with.
There's a Terran thing.
Kazoo.
I've got one in my room. I'll show you. Once we're on our next jump, when we've got some time, we'll listen to some Wagner opera. We'll try it out on the Terran kazoo, and then I'll transport it over to some of the Varga instruments.
Out of character, that's not going to be annoying at all. Thanks. I do appreciate. Of course, you'll get credit for all of this.
I should hope so.
All of the musical work. Think. I don't know. Arnson and Lasker and Arnson, writers of grand epic tales of Wagner opera, space opera, if you will.
Oh look, here's Kronsorama. He's just entered the room. He looks like he's about to say something light-hearted and fun. Hey, Kron.
Hey. Light-hearted and fun you want.
Sure.
There's 2 cows standing in a field. And one cow says to the other one, "Have you heard about this mad cow disease? It's terrifying." And the other one says, "It is. I'm glad I'm a helicopter."
I
Oh.
quite like that.
Look, there'll be no talking of fields when we get down to Ossin. We don't want to make everyone jealous down there. Oh, cows, in fact.
Don't worry, Cron. I'll explain the joke to her later. I don't think Carl got it.
There was a joke. Oh, Cron, what a star you are. Oh, right. I suppose I better head down and we can dock down there. I'll try and sell some fish.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's go. Let's get down there.
All right. So do you want to dock with the orbiting station? Do you actually want to land on the planet's surface? You can do that here. It's completely... you can actually land on almost any planet's surface with a liner. But this one's particularly easy because it's... it's... a vacuum world. There is absolutely nothing stopping you docking with the planet's surface.
It's also built out of... is it built out of old ships, Ben?
It is.
I assume it's pretty much the same as trying to dock with.
The city of Fredericksburg is mostly built. The reason it's called that is because it's built around the old warship Fredericksburg, which was indeed landed on the planet and then became the center of a city that was made by adding other old ships to the surface. Yes. So you can absolutely land there if you'd like.
Cara, do you think there's likely to be less fish on the planet or going around in orbit?
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't I sort of get on the buzzer, have a flick around, see if I can find a buyer while we're in orbit, and then there might be a better place to stop, mightn't there?
All right. Can you make a broker check with? I'm tempted to say social or education, your choice.
I'll go for education. Thank you. Oh, they're very cold dice.
Uh-oh.
Well, it's a very cold Kent.
It is a very cold Kent.
That is true.
But that's a good start, though. Thanks. The music is back working again. 9 plus 3 is 12.
Okay.
She's making the guns out, though, and it's freezing. Hang on.
It's a great time for it, though. You just rolled a 12.
Whoa.
You put out the call on commercial channels about interest in fish in particular, and you do immediately get some responses from three possible sources. One is the Fredericksburg Center, asking if they can negotiate a deal for securing fish for feeding workers and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
One is the regular commercial monitors in the markets at Fredericksburg looking for, saying, "Oh yes, bring them along to here and we'll find a place for you." This is essentially what would happen if you loaded it straight into your warehouse and just opened the doors and said, "Who wants some fish?" kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you also get a pick with a 12 from the Imperial Navy, who quite like the idea of some fish to feed their crew. They're not necessarily interested in taking all of it, however. So it depends if you want to split your deal.
I don't know, Agnar. Workers first, surely. Oh, boy. We have got the warehouse as well. That feels like it'd be the least. We can just chuck it in there and forget about it as it's sold.
Yeah, but which workers though? Because it feels, if we sell it out of the warehouse, that kind of feels like one of those old. I don't know if they have them. They had them on where I grew up. These Varga markets where you just come along and you buy some stuff, and there'd be people shouting, and they'd all each have a little stand. I mean, obviously the workers are workers, but also the Imperial Navy are trying to feed people that are working for them, right? Feels like everyone's a worker in this situation.
Everyone is a worker, baby. Shall we?
Apart
And
from
if we
the
just
generals.
let's get some deals. Are any willing to do deal over the thing, or am I going to have to land somewhere and go and meet with them?
You've got sealed unit tonnages of fish of geeker quality,
Yep, very good fish.
wrapped up and sealed and graded. So people can essentially, provided it's in date, people can buy it sight unseen. It's sort of like on a very grand scale going to the supermarket and buying a packet of plastic sealed fish. You know, you accept that the fish is in date, it's of acceptable quality, it's been filleted appropriately, and you just buy it without actually getting to touch the fish yourself. You don't touch it till you get it home. You see what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's essentially it has been packaged and sold as a commodity lump as a grade, like a standard concentration of frozen concentrated orange juice sort of thing. You know, it's you know exactly what you're getting. Um, yes. So, who would you like to ask?
I don't know. The Imperial Navy that they might get. That might. I'll tell you what. Let's do a bit and bit. Let's call the Imperial Navy first and see if they'll take a little bit, because they've been. It might be good to get a little bit of stay in their good books. Sell a little bit to the Navy. See what they'll take.
Okay. All right.
Not all of it though. We'll just see what they'll. Just a little bit, you know.
Okay. Let's see what they're up for. Okay. Not bad. The Italia is looking for 10 tons of not fantastically expensive commodity fish.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've got mackerel for that.
exactly. So the question obviously becomes whether or not you can hit their, you know, what kind of price you'll be able to negotiate. So if you're going to do a negotiation with them,
Yep.
for 10 tons of fish,
I can't remember. I've read what I bought it for, but it makes no sense. I took some Ewan
it's going to
notes.
essentially be a roll with +3.
Yep.
Okay, for a sale price. So if you roll 2d6 for me and add 3.
Yep. Okie dokie. That is an 8 plus 3 is 11.
Nice.
Okay. They will buy 10 tons at 500 credits per ton.
Right. Now let me just check something. I got 50 tons at 400 credits, I believe.
That's exactly what you had, yeah.
Yeah. So 500 credits per ton. So that is 5,000 credits. So I've more than made it back on the mackerel already. They can have that. We will dock with them at some point in the coming hours and hand over 10 tons of mackerel. And,
well, what are you doing? Don't give the good fish to the Navy.
No, that's the bad fish. That's the cheap fish.
No, it's not.
The mackerel's not.
Fish.
Oh, sorry. Give our regards to Pramus. We say that the crew of the Baltic Star wish her well, and the fish. In fact, I'll tell you what. As its premise, instead of 5,000 credits, we'll give it to her for 4,000 credits.
That's at cost, as far as you're concerned.
Well, I've still got I've still got 40. I've still got 40,000 more mackerel left, Ben.
Yeah, but what I mean is you paid 400 credits per ton for them.
Per ton. Oh yeah, but that's fine for that. They can have that on cost. That's fine.
So effectively, you're giving away 10 tons for cost.
Yeah.
Not even charging them for the fuel.
What are you doing, Carl?
No, look.
I thought you were good at this.
You never know. You never know when you need the Navy. All right. You never know when you need the Navy. Just as long as she knows it's the Baltic Star, and that everything Send the message, please, dear sir, that things are progressing well. Communication is still open, and we'll be in touch in the future.
Of course. The Navy seemed quite confused that you actually want to take less money than they were willing to pay.
No, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
But they'll happily take that deal. Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
As
Okay,
soon
now
as the comms are shut, Agno will just quickly go. You know, if anyone gets sick off that fish, they're going to think that we did that intentionally. You just
Yeah,
reduce the price. Okay. I'm sure
that-
it'll be fine.
that's why in the invoice I named it Agnar's Secret Stash.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Right. Anyway, let's get in touch with the commercial lot. See what they're going to take.
All right. Okay. Let's see. Without being silly about it, there is a market for anything you want to sell. The volume is not going to be an issue to shift.
Okay, so can I
So
get?
the only question is whether or not you're going to get a decent price on it.
Yeah, let's do a price for each then and see what I'll get for each.
Okay, so that's +3 on each roll. So mackerel first.
Just the 9 this time.
Okay. They will be willing to buy at $4.25.
$4.25 per term. Okie dokie. The shark.
The shark. Okay, yep. Make a roll for that, please.
Oh god, that's a bit better. 9 plus 3 is 12.
Ooh, nice.
The dusty shark.
Dusty shark. That's my new name.
They will happily take at 1,200 credits.
Oh, that's a profit. That's good. Take a bit of that. And finally, the slate fish, please.
Okie dokie. Yep, a roll for that, please.
This is valuable stuff. The slate fish. We did a good roll on this. Oh, it's okay. It's a 7 plus a 3 is a 10. Good bit of car effect.
They will. Sorry, in the book you understand it does sale prices of like 85% of something, so you've got to then
Yeah, work on that.
do that in your head. Hang on a second. The slate
fish
fish.
is a lot.
For
those watching, slate fish is very valuable, much more valuable than the rest of the stuff.
That's going to be
Like fancy
12,000 credits per ton.
Okay, that's good. You see, Agna, have I ever told you about Basic Fishanomics?
No, but I get the feeling.
Well, it's only going to take a minute. It's a very short book. It's a very small market.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Basically, with Basic Fishanomics, you buy fish low, and you generally sell higher to those that need it. So you don't
Deep
sell
sea fish.
Oh, definitely, very much so. The deeper the fish, the higher the price generally. The saltier the fish, the sweeter the price. The milkier the fish, the milkier the tea. But basically, it's all fish. You have a question at the back there, Agner.
No, I was just confused by milky fish, but go on.
That's all right. You've never milked a fish?
I can honestly say I've never milked a fish.
That's in advanced fishonomics. I've never read that, so I just know. I know theory, but I don't know how to do it.
Can you sell the milk?
Sure. If you milk the right fish, one day we'll learn together, and we'll milk fish across the system and sell it for profit. That's my promise to you. But stop taking my attention away. I'm trying to work out how much I'm selling my fish for. Honestly, Agnar, look, it's like you want me to fail. No, I'm selling. I've got 40,000. I've got 40 tons of mackerel. 40 tons of mackerel. 40 tons of mackerel. Oh dear, look at that. 40 at 425 per ton. So that's 17,000 of mackerel. My shark, I've got 1,200 at 30. That's oh dear. Oh dear. Agnar, you trying to make me fail here? That's
No, I'm just. This is quite interesting. I'm enjoying watching whatever this is.
This is Basic Fishanomics.
I have no skills in such fishanomics.
That's 36,000 credits in shark. 36,000 credits in shark. Can you imagine? And as for the slatefish, though, that's the biggie. All that slatefish, Agnar, 120,000 credits of slatefish.
I mean, it feels like we've put in more. I'm going to be honest. Going off my memory, but I am old, so I could be misremembering.
Well, to be honest, it seems that half of the fish has been taken to feed that kitten. It feels like she's got an insatiable appetite.
Right. If in doubt, blame the small kitten.
Yes, 50 tons of mackerel.
Yeah, that's definitely the problem. It's definitely the kitten. Anyway, let me.
The Imperial Navy didn't want a kitten while they were at it, did they?
Right, let me work out my abacus. Okay, I've sold some fish, Agnar. I'm going to sell for 177,000 all in. 177,000 credits, giving us a profit of 27,000.
Wait, didn't I give you 170,000?
You're going to get a percentage back, but I'll work that out. Look, I'm going to go and sit in my room for a little bit. Why don't you and take the others down or something, and unload the fish where it needs to be, and cruise the moons.
Okay. Don't rush. There's no hurry. We're all friends.
Good stuff. Why don't you
I'm just giving you a hard time.
You are like bad friends do. But I know you've got my back in a pinch, and that's the most important thing. Right.
Yeah. Sorry, that turn of phrase confused me then slightly.
I confused it.
I thought I was being accused of something underhanded, and I wasn't very happy about it. But no, I get what you mean.
Right, I'm going to vanish to my room while we make landing.
Wait. What's going on?
We're just going to dump. If you lead the crew, just dump 10 tons of mackerel at the Italia, and then the rest will go down to our warehouse.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to go do my maths. I'll put everyone's money back into their accounts, and I'll see you in a bit.
Yeah, have fun. You seem to be in your element. Enjoy it.
Oh, fish. I'll miss it when it's gone.
Okay. Yes, you have indeed sold all of your fish. Yeah. Much to Caboodle's dismay, all of the fish is now gone.
It's okay. It'll take a good few weeks for the smell to get out of the ship.
Absolutely right. Well, I think it's cruel, frankly, to a kitten for there to be the smell of fish, but no actual fish.
You may be right there. Maybe I didn't think that one through.
Okay. All right. So you are down on the surface of Ossin. And you can enter the city of Fredericksburg. You can make contact remotely with people if you know them in the area. And obviously you can take whoever wants to go with you. I mean, Ossin's not the most ridiculously dangerous place to visit. People can go ashore if they'd like.
Just for setting it, just for Agnar, I suppose, knowing what's going on. Did we stop in at the Italian on the way down, or
I mean, realistically,
saving that for later?
the Italia would have probably sent a pinnace over to collect the fish from you.
Okay, cool.
They have a lot of small craft available for this kind of job.
Wonderful. And I suppose Agnar would speak to everyone on board. Are there any members of the crew willing to come down? I assume that Soraya and Stefan is. I can speak for Stefan.
Cara will as well. Cara will as well, but she's have to take very much a back role because she's putting money into things.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, if you'd like to head ashore, you'll come in essentially towards the bow section of Fredericksburg, the area that everyone in the city calls up.
Ah, yes, I remember this. I remember this well, Agnar says. He doesn't really, because he's really old and can't remember anything. Well, I hear Cara here has been telling me that we've made some good deals on the fish. We've made a fair amount of money.
Yeah. In fact, Agnar, Stefan, Soraya, you can put 29,500 back into your account when you want to. And I'm pleased to announce we've got 53,000 back in our ship accounts again for future profit. So many cheesy balls.
That's not a terrible turnover, actually.
It was an 18% profit, which wasn't magnificent, but it was okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's not awful. And given you didn't have to pay for the fuel, that's not bad at all.
Exactly.
Okay. So, anything else you want to do? On the surface, or just stretch your legs and head back to the ship, or is there anything else you want to sell? Do you want to find out what the price is on the Stanek ores?
Oh,
or refined property, I should say.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that quickly before we do anything else. Cara will be tapping that into the laptop. Let's see. Let's sell everything if we can. I have no idea how much I bought it for now. I think we just took it, didn't we, from Cara's band or something? Cara's band.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, wasn't it in a hole in the ground?
Yeah, we just came across it.
All those lines.
Possession is 9 tenths
Cara's
of the law.
band.
It's
Okay.
Cara's band now.
Rack's new home, I believe.
Oh yes, Shay Rack. I miss that guy.
Castle.
Right. Yes.
I'd say in French, but I'm uncultured.
While when sorting that out, I guess. Soraya will turn to Agnar. So how many first aid kits you got now, Agnar? Didn't you get some really good ones from Ossin?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I did get some really good ones from Ossin. I used all of those, and then I got some more, I believe, off the seamstress. They helped me out. It might not have been seamstress. It might have been on World somewhere. Anyway, I've got three
Cool.
half decent med kits.
That's good. I'd like to.
I might pick up a few more because starts counting around 1, 2, 3. There's 4 of us, plus goodness knows how many up there.
Oh, that is true. Jim, I'm just remembering back, Agnar. There was the little shopping area we went to with the medical centre and shop, and you know me, I'm always on the lookout for a few more explosives, and you never know what the killer is going to be like on the inside. Some doors might need helping somewhat.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I would say at this point now, if I buy many more med kits, I'm definitely running at a loss based on the 29,500
That's true.
that I just gained. I'm not that I'm complaining, The journey is half the fun and all that.
Money spent on health is the wisest money spent.
Yeah, but that's very true, and it's much like, to be honest, the way I use med kits, it's much like gambling, and quite
That's
often I'd be
excitement.
happy to lose some money to gambling for an evening's entertainment. But yeah, I'll pick up a few more. Good plan. Good plan.
Well, while you're sort of catching up, can you roll 2d6 for me, Luke, to see if anyone is interested in your HPDM?
I can. Do I get any bonus on that?
Yes, you can have for this one your +1 and another. Oh, +3 actually for this one. So total of +4.
Nice. Take care,
Oh,
Stormbender.
Ben's
Thanks
got
for
our
dropping
stats.
in. Wait, what? This is I don't know about this. That's an 8. 12.
A total of 12.
Good stats today, yeah. Good bonuses.
All right. Yes. The there is a taker, in fact. There is a very a very interested party, but only one. The management of the Moho mine is interested in the HPDM.
Ooh.
Well, can we remind them when we go to deal with them that we were the team that went down to flush out all the problems and get it restarted again?
I think you probably can, actually, and it's probably worth a +1 on your broker. Plus, you can have education with it.
Nice one. So broke up plus education +1. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
+4. Oh, okay. Well, probably for the best because that's a 6, but 6 plus 4 in total is 10.
It's a good number.
I know.
Okay.
They're big pluses tonight.
They are interested in all of the HPDM you can offer.
Only 5 kg. Sorry, guys.
And it's a Stanek HPDM is more valuable than many.
Mm-hmm.
The tin is particularly useful stuff, but on that roll, they are only willing to offer 180,000 for the 5 kilos you've got.
180,000. It's yours, guys. Enjoy it. Have a wonderful time. I hope it serves you well. Don't do anything dangerous.
I have no way of saying in game, but Kara, he said only. So I'm totally behind this. I think this is a very good deal, and I approve.
Thank you. You can. Well, we like to support the local man, and honestly,
that is very true.
Honestly, this isn't basic Fishanomics. I have no idea how much it's worth.
But I did notice, Kara, you got that look in your eye like you were leaning on someone. You know that. But yeah, but do you remember this thing we did for you?
Yeah,
Who was it?
We risked on. It was the Moho mines. Do you remember when we went down and killed those spiders? Nearly died that day. We were heroes. Do you remember when we were heroes?
We are.
We are.
We are heroes.
I forget sometimes. So many people we've killed.
So many.
It's nice to remember that, including political figures. Agnar, isn't that right?
Agnar turns and walks towards the the rest of the crew. So, has anyone got any plans? Are we? What's the deal? I feel as though we should have some kind of celebratory brunch at some point, whether that be here or back on the ship.
Brunch and shopping. Drop in on say hi to Strife on our way through. It's only polite after all.
Yeah.
It is indeed.
Could do that. Okay. Well, given that there is nothing to do except, you've already placed your order for fuel and it'll be waiting for you when you get back into orbit. So there really isn't any point to anyone staying on the ship while she's down on the planet. everyone's going to sort of wander off and scatter around looking for places to have a meal, have a drink, stretch their legs a bit. You know, a bit more space than you find on the ship. It's still obviously recycled air and all that kind of thing, but still, it's nicer than being cooped up in one place.
Yeah, nice few hours surely.
Agnar very much buries his hands in his paws at the thought of people going off ship and scattering around everywhere, just like would never happen in the army. Oh wait, yes, no, it would, but it would never happen when we were on duty in the army.
We're all off duty now, Agner. Come on.
What if something? Okay, fine. Where are we going?
Let your hair down. Let your hair down.
Do you think they've got any good Wagner opera here?
Nowhere has good Wagner opera.
I see what you've done.
Let's. I'll tell you what. Let's go shopping. We've still got Strife's details. Maybe we could drop him a message, see if he wants to join us for a drink. Remember that bar with the two entrances, one at each end, that we drank with him that time? We got a full keg of ale, didn't we, or something from there? As a special
You put
treat.
some stuff on the table, didn't you?
Oh, I laid a few things
Is that
there.
a different bar?
That was his room, I think. But Stefan, he liked you. Why don't you give him a call and see if he'll join us? Then we'll go shopping. Then see if we'll go for a drink.
Hold on, sorry. What? Give who a call?
Give Stanley Strife. Give Strife a call.
Strife a call.
Yeah, see if he'll join us.
Join us where?
Oh, that bar, whatever it's called, the two door bar.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
2 doors down.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what it's called? I forget the name. I know which one you mean though. I'll ask. I'll see what's happening. Stefan will pick up his device and make contact with Strife.
Okay. Strife does answer. You've got his personal contact details. You've spoken to him many times, and he picks up and says, "You back in town?"
How would you know that?
The call.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Sorry.
You got me.
Been looking over my shoulder for a while. Yeah, we are. Wondered if you fancied a catch up for old time's sake, shall we say?
Yes. Okay, that sounds good.
See how things are going.
Yeah, why not? I've been a bit out of the loop recently. It'd be interesting to see what's been going on outside my own little domain. Yeah, I'll see you in half an hour.
Do you remember the place with the doors?
Yeah, I know the one you mean.
Back and forth. Yeah, of course you do. We'll meet you there. We're not locals, you can tell. But the place we met last time.
It's fine. It gets me away from the desk.
Wonderful. See you soon.
Okay. And you watch Cags wander off down one passageway looking for something to drink or possibly, to eat. He's in his element here, wandering around these dingy corridors.
Stefan leans over to Soraya and just says, "I worry about him by himself." It's like a small child.
Just an innocent
wandering into
child.
a movie. He has no frame of reference. He doesn't know what's going on. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Soraya put her arm over Stefan's shoulders, gives him a little squeeze to comfort him. I'm sure he'll be all right. He he managed to rescue both of us after all. I'm sure he's
That's very true. He's a survivor.
he is.
Yeah, he's not completely without talent.
Oh.
Indeed.
Stefan,
Yeah.
Stefan, do you want to get a drink in before Strife meets us, or do you want to go shopping first and then get there basically as he does? What do you fancy?
Do you know what? I'm not sure there's anything I need. I've got everything I need right here, and gestures around to everyone.
Oh,
I'm happy to go shopping if you want to go shopping, but I don't think there is anything I need to purchase at this current moment in time. my my finances are doing slightly better than when we arrived, and for that I'm happy. And I'm going to try and keep it that way.
How many millions do you have these days hidden away?
At least 12.
Yeah, I thought as much. Okay, that's fine. To be honest,
Don't say that too loud around here.
to be honest, me getting more stuff would just be a bit eccentric at this point. I've got a bit of
But I like
plastic.
eccentric.
Well,
It's
you
kind
do.
of fun.
Let's go for a drink first, and then I'll flick up the local hardware on my device while we're drinking, so that I know what I'm getting if I am. It'd be nice.
We'll have to
it'd be
make
nice
it quick
relax.
though, because he said he wouldn't be too long. I don't think.
Exactly. So it's good to get there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then you can get your favourite seat. You know, the one. Actually, this one's hard for you because you like to sit with your back to the door, or your front to the door. But there's two doors.
Yeah. So I get one of those spinny seats that they have, so I can, depending on, you just keep an ear out for the doors and then turn as and when is needed. I find is the best way to go about that sort of situation. It is tricky though. It is really tricky.
It's a good solution, though. Go on. First round's on you, Stefan.
Okay. So you make your way in. Is it just Cara and Stefan who are going?
Soraya will definitely go as
Soraya
well.
and Stefan. Yeah.
Carl goes well. I don't know if
Yep.
Agnar will go with the whole posse.
Ben, how far away is the medical place that we went to last time and Agnar picked up medikits?
It's actually,
Give or take.
if you remember, it's almost opposite the bar. It's in that same little sort of wide industrial corridor where the sort of hold of an old ship has been turned into this fairly broad area. It's where you met Sever on several occasions.
Yes, yeah, because two people hung out there for a little while, didn't they? Whilst we were, yeah. Well, then I suppose depending on where Soraya is planning on going for a drink, Agnar will either walk with them or he'll disappear off and meet them at the bar.
Well, if everybody's going to the bar with the doors, then they're not literally next door, but only a handful of paces away.
Yeah. Luke, what's the plan? Soraya.
To the bar.
Where we go?
Let's go.
Which bar?
The one with the two doors.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Glorious.
So you can, since you have like half an hour before Strife arrives, you could stop in at the medical centre if you'd like, while the others are getting the drinks in.
Yeah. Agnar will leave them and just. He won't make excuses. He's buying medikits to save their lives. I'm buying medikits. I'm going to save all your lives. I'll see you inside. Mine's whatever the cheapest. Looks around. Probably Rockthal, knowing this place.
Yeah, it'll be Rockthal here. Yes.
Rockthal. Cheapest Rockthal. Thanks.
Okay. Cheap Ossin Rockthal is cheap indeed. It is. It has that slight delicate flavour of kerosene, which makes you wince a bit when you drink it. It is it is not of the quality that Agnar would generally prefer. But yes, the three of your party then wander into the bar and order some drinks. The assuming you're ordering for Agnar as well, the total will be of the order of 5 credits.
29,500 minus 5 means I'm still in the plus, just about.
Just about.
He and now Stefan will pay.
Oh, what a generous man.
Oh, there you go. All right. So while they're settling down, shall we handle the medical visit? If Agnar's going to the med centre, if you remember when you go in through the door there are those sort of 4 medical treatment bays, 2 on each side, and the main sort of entry lobby area with a front desk in it. And the front desk is manned.
Wonderful. Agnar will approach the front desk. Good. Look at his device. What are we talking?
Good morning, technically.
Good morning, technically.
Good morning, sir. How can I help?
Yes, it wasn't yourself who served me last time, but I've previously been into this establishment and purchased some of your finest medical kits. I think the person who sold them to me before said that you don't normally sell them, but seeing as there was some kind of arrangement, you'd be selling them to patients anyway. So what difference does it make if you sell them to me?
Well, you see, we are also a medical facility. We don't just sell them to patients; we actually use them to repair patients.
Yes, but then you charge the patients for such treatment. Am I right?
Well, one way or
And
another.
that treatment
Sure.
includes the cost of the equipment. That's correct, isn't it?
It is, though we generally provide a fully itemized receipt, you understand.
Of course. So pretend that I have, let's say, 6 or 7 fatal wounds, but I'm willing to treat myself because I am a well-trained medical practitioner. And so just sell me the equipment and I'll be on my way, if you don't mind.
6 or 7 fatal wounds, which you will self-administer treatment for.
Yeah.
So, in other words, what we're saying here is you are a medical professional who is entirely unaware of what the word fatal means.
No,
he's just
my
that good.
apologies. I was being pedantic, perhaps a little bit too forthright. I just wish to buy some supplies in order to keep my friends alive.
Ah, okay.
I am well trained, and he'll scroll through his device and find some kind of. I'm sure there's something on there that indicates that he is medically trained.
Well, obviously, we sell most of the standard items when called upon. We normally sell only basic medical kits over the counter, and we're happy to do that. We do obviously have higher quality ones. We generally reserve those for special cases, but we do have basic medical kits available. If you'd like some.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned special cases. My name is in fact Agnar Ossin. I don't know if that's on your records for my previous purchase, but I do believe that I received some of your finer medical kits before.
And by whose authority do you think that might have been?
Oh, it could have been many people, if I'm honest. We helped some people out down at the Moho mines. It could have been them. We know Strife. Could have been him. Probably not Johnny. I'm not sure if you know Johnny, but it probably wasn't me. I'm going to be honest.
Can you roll a persuade with your choice of intellect or social, please?
Oh, no, not even close to leveling up persuade. Let's go with social, shall we? So
Okay.
just the -1. On
Who
the
do you
back.
think I am?
Exactly. I thought I'd try and get it in there. Well, that's not bad though. That's a 10 -1. It's a 9.
Well,
Okay. All right. Your slightly clumsy name dropping has nonetheless impressed this person sufficiently, and they would be willing to sell you medikits. They bring out a few examples of a basic one, a rather more advanced one, which is still a primitive compared to the very finest of things, and one that's about as advanced as a world like this is going to see. A TL12 type medkit, which grants +2 on medic rolls. Those are quite expensive, but they can also give you one that'll do +1 and one that will do just standard medic roll.
Thank you very much. This is a fine selection. Might I inquire as to the cost of each of these?
The basic medical kits come in at 1,000 credits. The +1 ones come in at 1,500, and the +2s come in at 5,000.
Well, my friends are quite clumsy. If I may take one of your finest, and then how many of the medium ones are there on for sale then?
Essentially as many as you like on that roll. They've got cupboards full of them.
Wow. Okay. If I may take 3 of your mid-range, shall we say, and one of your finest.
So 1 of the 5,000s and 3 of the 1,500s.
Yeah.
And do you need any basic medical kits as well?
Well, I suppose I am quite good at medicine. They could come in handy. I shall take 2 of those, if you don't mind, good sir or madam.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. And literally happily box them up for you.
Glorious. So, is it 5,000? 4.5. 11,500.
Yep.
Is that what we're talking?
Yes.
There goes all my.
Well, it's a sizable chunk of profit, but on the other hand, that
It's
could
also money well spent.
It could save a life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, and should last for some time. Touch wood.
And you know that life could be for an important character. You never know.
Well, maybe not.
Zoe, we need her.
It could be Zoe. She does get into a bit of trouble, does Zoe?
Right, perfect. So I now have 2 medikits, 6 + 1 medikits, and 1 + 2 medikit.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Ben.
They will also happily sell you any drugs you're interested in.
Oh,
What's the selection available?
Well, essentially, they will sell you the standard legal types. So, anti-radiation drugs, which limit your damage when exposed to radiation fields. They are quite expensive, but they do provide some protection in high radiation environments. Combat drugs, which are fairly expensive, but do give you significant bonuses in combat. But at the cost that you then normally, in order to cope with the fatigue that they bring on after they fade, you then normally need a stimulant, which they'll also sell you. And though the stimulant will in fact reverse the fatigue problems, it does injure you slightly. And then there are various basic medicinal drugs to treat actual medical conditions. and these are what you'd expect. There are everything from antibiotics to things that, because a med kit essentially deals with trauma, but
Yeah.
sort of stocking up on some medical supplies to treat common ailments would not be significantly expensive.
Hmm. Um. Well, me and my friends and I, as clumsy as they are, we're not the most combat heavy, and I don't believe that even if we were, they would be inclined to take any kind of should we say cheating stimulus to help them out.
We
It's
fight
very
fair.
kind. However, the antibiotics interest me, and or something something similar to treat your run of the mill problems. If you've got anything that's a hangover cure, that would be really helpful. I would probably buy all of those.
Actually, there is a cure for the hangover. Yes.
Oh,
That,
wonderful world we live in.
one that doesn't include not drinking, because that may be a problem.
No, I will read you the description. There is a class of drugs called panaceas. These are wide spectrum medicinal drugs specifically designed not to interact harmfully. They can therefore be used on any wound or illness and are guaranteed not to make things worse. A traveler using panaceas may make a medic check as if he had medic 0 when treating an infection or disease. Panaceas cost 200 per dose. But because they refuse to make anything worse and do kind of polish off the rough edges of things, at 200 credits per dose, they'll cure a hangover.
Ah, and I suppose that's very similar to this antibiotic word that has been battered around. It cures anything. Is that is that correct? So it would help with any ailment.
Pretty much, yes.
So I could just streamline and buy some of those. That's perfect.
In essence, what it does is allows people without medical training to do a bit of medical.
Yeah, cool.
It can sort of hold off problems for long enough to allow to get them to a real doctor.
Um. Well. You've put me in a bit of a conundrum, because my friends do often come over with hangovers. I'm just trying to crunch the numbers. Tell me, whilst I'm here, do you happen to have any starlight drops? My friend has a particular penchant for
Oh,
those. If you've got
starlight
any,
drop.
I'm sorry, we sort of treat illnesses here. It's not really the kind of thing we carry.
that's more than fair. Um, well, let's say I'll take 20 doses of. Oh, I'm sorry. What was the name?
The panacea.
The panacea. Yes, please.
Okay, that's 200 credits per dose. So what that will allow is, if you are dealing with an injury that is not sort of immediately life-threatening, not something where they will definitely die immediately, you can hand these out to your crewmates along with med kits, and essentially they will allow anybody to use a med kit correctly and make a roll as if they had medic 0. Okay,
Oh, if only Sarah had
You,
that on that fateful day.
so in essence, it turns everybody into a very, very bad medic, but an actual medic.
yeah. Also, more importantly, it cures a
Cures
hangover.
hangovers, yes.
Well,
Yes.
I'd hopefully prevents, but what's a few seconds between
Absolutely.
hangover friends?
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, if you took it as you stopped drinking,
Mm.
you'd be fine.
Yeah. And is that 200, so 4,000.
That's 200 per. Yeah, so it's 4,000 all in.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Well, you've been most helpful. Thank you. Thank you for the supplies. My shipmates, thank you for their lives and for their headaches and hangovers.
You're very welcome. And thank you. Stop by anytime.
Now, see, when you say it like that, I think I've been taken advantage of. But you are most welcome. You are most welcome. And Agnar shall leave.
Okay. All right. So as you head over back to the bar to join the others, I assume that's where you're going, or am I wrong about that?
No, you are correct. He'll also pop in one of the the drugs that he's just bought to try and cure his hangover. Stroke, prevent another one, maybe. So I'll go down to 19.
Okay. All right. Then, in that case, as you do rejoin and take your very first sip of the rather weak and slightly fossil fuel tasting Rockthol, we will take our little break.
Wonderful.
Glorious stuff.
All right, we'll be back in about 5-10 minutes, everyone. Please hang around, get what you need to do. But it'd be lovely to have you back and join us for the toast in the second chunk of this evening. Right, now let me sort this out. Oh, we don't want that. We want that. And then what we want is that bit. There we go. Look at that. That's perfect. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to tonight's Boys from the Baltic Star. As is always the case, um, at the start of the second half, we start with a very important toast to a very important fallen comrade who's now on the screen. A man with a granite jaw, granite forearms, a granite chest, uh, granite cheeks, granite loins. The
Strong man.
so big, strong man. He, Greyhill Best, the finest barman, finest steward that a ship could ever have. Sadly, lost along the way, his body decaying slowly in a field that is forever the Baltic Star. Um, there's a song he used to sing with with Cara when the two of them would get drunk at the end of the evening. When Agnar was lost, telling his stories of war at the bar to whoever was listening from the travellers we picked up along the way. He thought he was telling them to the ones that listened. There was no listening. Um, the night would often end with Cara and Agnar standing up, and Cara and Greyhill standing up and singing, if it was quiet. And there's a duet, and it would go something like this: Summer loving, have me a drink. Summer drinking happened so fast. I met a girl, crazy for beer. Met a boy, cute as can be. Didn't really work. Summer days drifting away, but those summer hangovers. Well. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Did you get me a paracetamol? Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Over the dog? Uh-huh. 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 To the late great Greyhill Best.
Like great Greyhill Best.
To the late great Greyhill Best.
It is at about this point that Stanley Strife walks in. Very recognisable. You remember him well. It was only a few weeks ago, after all, a bit more than that, but not very much more, that you last saw him. He looks in good shape, actually. He looks to be well and hearty and very much in his element. As he walks into the bar, everyone sort of notices and acknowledges him. And he strides over and sits down. And even as he sits down, someone comes bustling over and puts a drink in front of him. And he says, "So, what brings you back to my neck of the woods?"
Well, Mr. Strife, Stefan here was just telling me about how much he's been missing news from the place. We the first few days we were being caught up on happenings, but over the last couple of weeks things have quietened down a bit, and we just wanted to know how things have been since the new governor came in, I guess.
Yeah. Things are more carefully policed, I think it's fair to say. Papa Krebs had his fans, but he wasn't a completely uncorruptible influence, shall we say. It turns out that Imperial Navy governors are just a little bit more strict in the way they impose discipline. It's been a bit of a change for some of my people. Some of them have ended up facing various punishments for doing what comes naturally to them, of course. But we adapt, and we adapt quite well.
I hate to think that our decisions and actions have left things in a worse place for the common man and the common woman here.
The common man and common woman seem to be making out okay. It's a bit more of a company town now. Prices are more regulated. Life is more consistent. It was cheaper here and easier here if you knew how to work the system. But if you didn't, I think probably it's easier for you now.
Okay. That's
Well,
something.
sorry. Cool.
That's something, isn't it? Isn't it, Stefan? That's something.
Yeah, it is. It's reassuring for sure. If you'll sorry, if you'll excuse me, I've a quick something I need to do. I'll be back. And Stefan will excuse himself.
Okay. And as Stefan goes, Strife will drain his glass and look around the table at everyone else who's running out of drinks as well. And he will say, "So, I'm probably only going to be here for one more drink. So how about we play a quick game for who buys the next round?"
Sparrow smiles. Sounds good to me. As long as the person that buys the drink also leads a toast, we have a tradition on the ship, and we'd be honoured if you joined us in it once before we got on our way.
Oh, sure. Don't see why not. So, simple game. Like drawing lots, really. And he pulls out some dice and scatters them on the table. Choose your weapon.
It's good because Cara here likes drawing lots.
Yeah, I like it more than Varga Opera.
So, choose your weapon. The dice are all the same, but I'll pick last, so you know I'm not cheating. And he says, "Anyone who's interested in a drink, take a die."
Do they all look the same to Agna?
They don't look the same, actually, but they look fair, if you know what I mean. There's nothing that would immediately make you think this one's a cheat.
Wonderful. Agna will pick up the one furthest away from him.
Okay.
Sarai will just close her eyes and pick a random one.
All right. Is Cara playing?
No, Cara's
Okay.
Cara's just transferring money into accounts as it stands.
Fair
She's
enough.
taking a moment. So.
Then Strife will pick up a die from the middle of the deck, and he'll say, "Lowest buys the drinks."
Oh, simple game.
And if Agnar and Sarai will each roll a die, please.
Lowest in Varga numbers or human, which we going for here?
Fewest dots.
That's perfectly clear. Crystal, you may say. That's a 2 for Agnar.
That's a 4 for Strife.
And a 4. Oh, Agnar. It's only fitting, Agnar. It's only fitting. You are.
It is indeed. It is indeed. The same again for you fine people.
No, I wanted to. I didn't enjoy that. Can you find their finest liquor, please?
Strife turns around and waves at at the bar staff and says, "We need 3 of the homebrew, please." And there's a sort of nod, and moments later, the steward appears, or waiter appears, with 3 really quite narrow but quite tall glasses that are fairly well filled with this slightly greenish looking liquid, and deposits them with a certain amount of ceremony on the table and says, I hope these will meet your approval. And Strive says, we can but hope. And he takes a sip. Vintage.
My apologies. First the toast, if you don't mind. That was part of the bargain.
Of course, the toast.
You see, the toast is to a beloved barman who was once upon our ship. A barman who knew that if a round was to be bought, certainly by a specific Varga general, and his colleague asked for the finest liquor, that he would buy one of the finest and one of the cheapest, and then give the cheapest to them. I mean, no disrespect, of course, to the drink choice. It looks fine, but in future, perhaps may we all remember this fine man's actions.
Of course. Might I know the name of this brave hero?
Indeed, he is the late great Greyhill Bast.
Then to the late great Greyhill Bast.
Great Greyhill Bast.
Thank you kindly.
A pleasure. The waiter sort of makes sure everyone is having a sip and enjoying it, and then leans over and says, "That'll be 30 credits, please."
But of course, take 40 in honor of our dear departed barman.
Okay, that's very kind of you. Thank you.
That's very average of you.
You get the feeling that that's quite generous in this establishment.
Tips in Ossin are usually 75%, according to the Wikipedia.
According to the guide published by the wait staff and barkeepers of Ossin.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. That's the one.
Yes. So Strive says, "Now I hear a rumor that you've delivered a lot of fish."
A bucket load, you may say.
Truthfully, we can use some fresh fish every now and then here. Just a shame you didn't bring some sort of meat as well. But fish is good. It's a good start. And it's very nice to have you back around. I mean, I don't need to frisk you for cyanide today, do I?
Carl, Agner will look over at Cara all the way around.
He'll be smirking.
I believe our visit is not with the same intent as last time.
Good.
You never know.
Sniffs his drink.
Could get lucky with the next. Could get lucky with the next governor, Cara Weeks.
Yes. Well, the Navy hasn't left yet, and I don't know, it doesn't make that much difference. The Moho mine is operating reasonably well, and the corruption has rather fallen apart. Things have been put in good order. And if you're the kind of person who thrives under a well ordered environment, then you're fine. It's just some of the more relaxed members of society have found it a bit tough to adapt. And some of them have spent a bit of time under lock and key because of it.
Hmm.
It's a shame that often it seems that good intentions for a freer society can end up uh, making things stricter than before.
Hmm. Yeah. Still, it turns out that if you have the right connections and the right moral agility, there are still ways to do some work under the table. Um, for example, if a person were to um, perhaps want to earn a little bit of extra money, and that person had at their disposal a starship, there
Oh,
might be an opportunity for getting someone out of system who might currently be hiding from the more troublesome areas of society.
well, that's interesting. We do know people with a starship who, in fact, have um, previous with getting such people out of Ossin, in fact, when needed.
Um, yes, I had a feeling that might have been true. Obviously, casting no aspersions.
Of course, of course. It's uh, just so I just so I can approach these people with the right information. Is there anywhere specific that this person needs to go?
Well, in one sense, somewhere very specific, and in another sense, not specific at all. The person needs to be anywhere that is specifically not on Ossin.
Hmm. Um, is this person available now, or would they need to be picked up from a more complicated place?
The person can be delivered more or less on demand.
Hmm. Is the person expecting to pay their way, or uh, expecting another? I guess another way on the ship.
I think, under the circumstances, the person is someone I owe a big favor to. And so, should there be a financial price for getting this person away and, shall we say, safe to a world that's far enough away to not be immediately under the control of the local Imperials, and also a world with good transit facilities in and out, a good starport, that kind of thing. Um, such a trip, however long it turned out to be. Um, I mean, do you have a sort of price you charge for such things?
Um, well, for assuming a lot, so suddenly turning it to us, but amongst friends, I'm sure we could perform such a task if you needed it. Um, yes. Um, let's have a look. What's a parsec then? That's
That's one grid on the map.
um, usually I'm assuming this person would not want to travel in frozen in low passage. Of course, there are many nice rooms aboard our craft.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Even a basic passage would generally roll to 10,000 credits, but for a friend, um, Agnar, it's Agnar still here, isn't it? It's Agnar.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um, would would 8,000 credits cover what quality of whiskey would you be able to offer to a person for a couple of weeks for 8,000
Well,
credits?
hold on a minute. Are you talking about? He'll lower his voice. And then You're not talking about our ship. I thought you were talking about sending them off on the Italia.
Well, yeah, that's exactly. A person wants to
They owe us a
keep their head
favour, don't
low
they,
away from.
for all that free food that we just gave them?
Well, that's just to grease the palms of capitalism. Unfortunately, it's a fickle
Well, let
mistress.
me answer your question this way. The quality of whiskey that they would get for 8,000 credits would be equal to the quality of whiskey that I can buy on Ossin for under 8,000 credits. My personal stash is my as I told Cagsy back on the ship. My personal stash is my personal stash. The bar is open to anyone. Very much so. In fact, it's one redeeming feature is that it's available to all.
It's true. That's a real redeeming feature.
How many tons of mackerel is that?
The Mac was long gone. I'm afraid. Only the smell remains.
Well, no, but I'm just trying to make comparisons in my
Oh,
head.
a couple of tons of mackerel. Right. I assume, if we were to offer the spa areas, one of the nicer rooms on the not on the emo side, but on the cheery side of the ship.
The series, yeah.
Of course, I think that would be important. Keys into the staff areas for the staff lounge. Areas to the front.
There's a staff lounge.
Well, yeah, have you not been in there? You spend most of your time in the big lounge. That's the problem. Food, drink, involvement in our evenings if they so wish. Brightsea, we're looking at a couple of weeks to Brightsea. Maybe all in 15,000 with everything they could ever want, foods and drinks and good times. Seems like a very good price.
I would say though that should they wish to go further afield, shall we say, the that is certainly the direction in which we are travelling into. I don't want to be dramatic, but into the unknown, if you will. And we would potentially be willing to take them as far away from anything in particular that they wanted to get away from as they wished.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. I feel that 15,000 would be fair to Brightsea, which is, of course, a port and other transport could be had. If they wish to stay on board the ship as a passenger, we could renegotiate costs at Brightsea. If they wish to earn their keep, of course, that would change dramatically.
That seems reasonable to me, but it's we're on the same side of the bargaining, if you will.
Indeed. It's a lot cheaper than medium passage on a normal ship for the same price. This is only just above much cheaper passage, and we're offering a lot more. Mr. Strife, dear friend, what do you feel upon this? No questions asked. We leave We leave in but an hour maximum.
Well, you know what? I think the person in question has talents and skills that a diverse group such as yourselves might find handy. So, 15 is perfectly acceptable.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Um, if you can promise me that for the 15, you will transfer her as far as she feels she needs to go along your journey,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that you can, to an extent, expect her to provide any professional services that might be useful to you along the way.
And what sort of professional services are these?
She's a skilled negotiator, diplomat, advocate.
Mm.
She has high end administration and clerical skills. Um, she speaks and presents well and has a background in the performing arts. If you're
Cara
expecting,
turns her nose up at that. At
if
the
you're
last
Agnar
one.
looks at Kara.
if you're expecting her to dig you out of trouble in a firefight, you may be looking at the wrong person.
Oh, well,
Well, I will say, as far as she needs to go, is a very, very open-ended point of a contract. We could be, we could find ourselves at the grand old age of 44, still shipping this person around.
steady on.
But if they could provide themselves of some use, then Agnar looks over to Kara.
Yeah. Well, 15,000 buys them a couple of weeks of holiday in Jump, and then after that, if she starts to earn her keep, then it seems absolutely reasonable. Anyone can stay on the Baltic Star as long as they have something to offer to the community there.
Excellent.
That she may do.
Well said. Well said.
Well, then I think we can call that settled. She's been worth a great deal more to me than that over the time I've known her, and I would be sad to see her arrested, interrogated, and reveal anything that might be embarrassing. And she's the kind of person who, if she disappeared completely and then later was found, that could go badly. So I'm very pleased to see you're willing to take her on. That's kind of you.
Does she have a name? We like to get back on the ship, and we like to create a nice nameplate for the room.
I'll let her introduce herself when she arrives. But I will. You say you're leaving in an hour or so. I will have her put on a nondescript suit and go and loiter around your ship, awaiting your return.
Wonderful. She'll fit if she's just loitering around our ship in a nondescript suit. She'll fit right in.
We are fans of loitering.
big loiterers.
Thank you. That's a weight off my mind. I do appreciate it. Just so you know, it's best you keep her presence on the ship unknown to any Imperials, for example.
How far? How far are we talking? Imperials forever? Imperials around Ossin?
Imperials familiar with the situations on the surface of Ossin, I would say.
Okay. Thank you.
Good evening, Kelly. Thank you for joining us. What an absolute sweet deal to have you join us. We're in Ossin. You've never been here with us. It's a returning, and it's been strange being back there. It's been quite a nostalgic evening. We're glad you can join us for the tail end of the stream. Sorry, Ben, back over to you. It's just nice to see Kelly pop in.
It is.
It's always
And
a
in fact,
treat.
it's at that moment that Strife hands you a little data chip with 15,000 on it and gives a nod and turns and walks out.
Agnar turns to Kara. Do you want to save this for the next big fish purchase, or?
Cara takes it, adds it. It's like, well, we got pretty much 250,000 credits in the ship. Look, I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna spend it on, but let's just say there's gonna be a lot of gold in the corridor, a lot of good decorations going on. Chandeliers is what I'm saying.
Chandeliers are a brilliant idea on starships. I can't imagine why you don't see more of them.
Exactly.
Mm.
Very good. You're gonna love what I do with the place.
Interesting choice. It sounds like a lovely venue for a Wagner opera.
And
It must be said.
and 2 words, Agnar. Shag pile.
Do they mean something when you put them together? Is it a different thing to what I'm? Please tell me.
Soraya winks and taps him on the shoulder. Says, "Come on, let's get back to the ship. I'll tell you all about it."
All right. At this point, we have to cut to Stefan, of course, who sloped off at a certain point.
Indeed. As Stefan leaves, he would like to send a message, if he may, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
A message of high explosives to every. No. No, he's not going to stab anyone or blow anything up. But he will send a message to Sil
Sava.
Mm-hmm. Sava, and just he will walk in the direction of the place where they sat and chatted outside of their. It was opposite the dwellings, wasn't it? I think.
Yes. Yeah. She was essentially a deputy to the old governor, if you remember.
Yeah. So he'll drop a message to them, and he will say, "I'm on world. We'll be sat in the place where we spoke at first," and he'll make his way to that little cafe and see what happens.
All right. Can you roll a persuade for me, please, with your choice of intellect or social?
Oh, goodness me. Neither of those are good. Luckily, persuade is not a 0 or a -3.
Not the -3.
Good times. That is a 9 plus 0 for social plus 1 for persuade.
A 10.
So a 10.
Okay. Okay. You get no response.
Oh, brutal. He will head to the place. Was it a cafe? Yes, it's kind of a bar-y type.
It was essentially this line of seats along the side of the corridor, where indeed you stop to have several drinks.
He'll head there anyway, and he'll take a seat. He'll grab a cup of coffee, and he'll sit there and sip and look around and watch the people wander past.
Okay. Can you roll a streetwise for me, please, with intellect?
That is better for him. That is an 8 plus 2 is a 10.
Okay. Um, as you sit there looking around, you notice a sort of youngish man hurrying along the the passageway. He looks just a little bit furtive, and as he uh, as he approaches, you start to notice that maybe he's looking towards you more than perhaps he should be, um, paying more attention than you deserve for just sitting there having a coffee. Um, and as he sort of hustles closer, he's looking around the area and glancing back across at you, and then looking around, and he sees you, and he looks, I suppose, a little bit disappointed as he goes past and keeps going.
Something Stefan is well used to.
Oh.
How close does he come to me?
Sort of the other side of the passageway, but as I say, he's he's making his way along quickly, and he keeps glancing at you and your coffee as he goes, and looks like he was a bit let down by what he saw.
Well, Stefan will knock back his coffee quite quickly and attempt to slink into the shadows and follow said person.
Okay, all right. In that case, can you roll a stealth with Dex for me, please?
Yes. That is an 8 plus 3. Sorry. 8
Okay.
plus 3. 11.
All right. So you follow him for a little while without all that much difficulty. Once he's through the area, he seems to sort of slow down and become a bit more meandering. He opens up his communicator and starts tapping out a message on it to someone, and he's looking much less focused than he did as he came through. And with your role, which is wildly better than his, he sort of he glances over his shoulder, sees that you're following him, and then rather ostentatiously ducks into a side passage, as as you are following him down. So it's relatively obvious that he knows he's being followed, and he's been terrible at hiding the fact that he's spotted you.
Stefan will follow quicker foot, if you may.
Okay. You round the corner and find that he is actually just around the corner. He's actually pressed himself against the wall, assuming you would go past. He's pressed himself against the wall and is quite surprised when you come round the corner and you're almost staring straight at him. And he sort of looks up with a bit of shock, and then holds up his hands, and he says, "Look, I'm security. I work for the governor."
And you were following me because the governor is back that way.
It's not something I'm supposed to tell anyone.
Well, Stefan looks from wall to wall, I assume, in this alleyway, and says, "It looks as though you don't have much choice."
Okay. Can you roll a persuade, please?
Mm.
In this case, I'm tempted to say you can have a boon for that. Because this guy is not your equal in terms of experience or characteristics. And you can have your choice of intellect or social.
Wonderful. That is a 10 plus 1 is 11.
Okay. He says you contacted the communicator of someone we've been keeping an eye on. That's all it is. We were hoping maybe she'd be coming here to meet you. Maybe she was following you and might follow you here, but didn't see her.
Why are you keeping an eye on her?
She's, shall we say, she's a person of interest in a few inquiries.
Let's not say that. Let's just say what it is, shall we?
She has been accused by the governor of various forms of corruption, mostly collaborating with the Riftsmen and the various scrappers up in the rings. There are ways that we do things now, and she's been slow to adapt. It's also, she made a lot of fuss about the fact that the old governor was murdered, so she says. And though there's a lot of reason to believe that might have happened, you understand? Once the Navy took over, that was all just put to bed and we move on. And she wouldn't stop talking about it. So, eventually it came time for her to be arrested and charged for corruption. And she apparently caught wind of that. And she hasn't been seen since.
Oh, jeez. Okay, well, this is more. I think this is probably more complicated than you imagine. I'm glad she hasn't been arrested. But I also appreciate the position that you find yourself in. Gestures from side to side in the alleyway. The governor won't find out about any of this unless you wish to tell them.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And he sort of glances around slightly furtively and then sets off, not looking back, disappearing down the corridor as best he can.
And Stefan, I think Stefan will head back to the area in which he originally indicated that he would meet Silsalvi, and he'll buy another coffee, sit down, and
Okay.
tip away.
Okay. If you were to remain there for the balance of the time before it's time to assemble your merry band and head back to the ship, I'm afraid Silsava would not appear.
Cool. That would be his plan. That would make sense in his head, at least.
Okay.
He'd provided the opportunity. He'll sit
All right.
down and swig away.
Fair enough. Then in that case, we move to the point where you get back to the ship, unless there's something else you need to do on Ossin before departing.
Agnon wants to buy 34 more medkits, please. No. Yeah. No, I'm good. I think.
Okay.
Not literally. We've got no more fish left. All the fish have been sold. Should have saved the mackerel.
Okay.
Is there a chandelier shop on Austin?
Of all of the things that Ossin provides, the vast range of diverse experiences in its narrow, twisting, slightly dark and grubby corridors, chandelier shops, there are 30 of them. There are none of them, obviously. Obviously not.
Of all the chandelier shops in all the world. I mean, there definitely is. I don't know if it's a good one. It's pretty close to old our other venture as well. In the grand scheme of things, obviously. Yeah. Tion tax tours, Tion's. Yeah, that's the one.
That's right. Yeah.
Feels like years.
Yeah, well, think how long it's been in actual real months since you were last on Ossin.
Not long.
Okay. So the group assembles, and as you get back towards the various airlocks that lead out to the big open area where the downport parks ships, you understand. You're sort of joined in dribs and drabs by the other members of your crew who drift in and join you in the airlocks to step through. So by the time you're actually ready to go through and cycle those airlocks, if you remember, they have these enormous long airlocks that can take entire blocks of passengers. You actually spent quite a lot of time fighting a battle through one of those airlock zones in another time. If you remember that arrangement, well, the scale of those airlock spaces mean that your entire crew can easily fit into a single airlock and get cycled through and out onto the rocky surface of Ossin all at the same time. So everyone's cheerfully and quite relaxedly talking about the next hop. Have you decided where that's going to be, by the way? Where are you going next? Because from
Yeah,
Ossin,
ye oldie traveller map.
yeah. Yes. Given the fact that you can actually refuel now with the hold empty for 5, you can actually go, if you like, in one journey as many as 5, which would take you as far as Atterdew, but that would still take 3 weeks to get to Brightsea, because it would be say a 2 and then a 3 and then a 1, whereas doing 3 3 parsec jumps, you'd be able to do it from Ossin to Hebratic and then from there to Brightsea. Okay. You went from Dillabrew to Tufa to Brightsea to Kigarisa, briefly Hebratic, Ossin and Geeka. The only thing that isn't on that map that you've been to is 6 parsecs down from Kigarisa.
I've been muted a load, you know. I just realised I've been muted for half the session. Yeah, that'd be fun. It's mostly you and anyway, I think so. Yeah, let's go Hebratic.
Okay, Hebratic it is. So as you make your way